Cringe.
Me and you ain't on the same shit. You ain't in my lane, bitch. Nah, throw that shit in fifth. Rollie on my wrist. Ay, baby, you a star. I'm my only wish. I'm counting blue honeys. I'm too money.
Okay, I know this video is gonna be probably ignored by a lot of people, but I just want to share all my opinions out. That way I don't have to just keep on having to argue with people in the comments. Yeah. So today I'm going to be sharing some of the issues in a community and how we can be able to fix them. Now, the community is known to be one of the most hated communities, and we can't really change that. We have to realize that people won't like gacha, and that's okay. You're not required to like a certain community. However, if you're going ahead and hating on people just for their interests and the bad parts in the community, that's kind of where it has to stop. A lot of bad stuff has happened to the community, which I personally don't think should be happening, such as hacking, doxing, and even going as far as making a 10-year-old send nudes of themselves is going pretty far for a hatred of a community. I know the 10-year-old part was a part of an amino, but it's still pretty far of what happened to the community. But however, I will be sharing some of the good, the bads, and the meh. Today in this video is going to be talking about the issues in the community and the good parts in the community. Hope you enjoy! Now we all know those parts of the people who don't like gacha. Now I know a lot of people like to argue with these people saying that they should just accept gacha, but here's what I have to say. People aren't required to like gacha. In fact, not a lot of people should be required to like any community. I even have some fans who aren't even a part of the gacha community. And I personally think that you don't have to like gacha. I'm kind of thinking that maybe as a community, we should just accept the fact that people aren't gonna like us. And there's gonna be some people who do like us. You have to remember that people can have their interests. They don't have to like something just because you like it. Here's an example. Let's just pretend that this is like an ice cream store, and you like a certain flavor. However, there's another person who likes another flavor. Are you just gonna yell at the person because they don't like the same flavor as you? Of course not. People can like what they like. And that does not mean you should just force somebody to like what you like. And this also goes for the anti-gacha community. I get it, our community isn't the best, but honestly, do you really want us to control that? I get that there are the people who do a lot of terrible stuff, but honestly, you shouldn't just blame every single gacha person of what happened. And I get it that, you're not going to like what the community does, but you shouldn't just blame a lot of the other people in the community just because one person did it. Such as Len Totally. Len Totally did something really bad, and I think that left a huge impact on the community. And I'm worried that people are just going to think all gacha people are just predators who prey on kids, which is not true. Of course there's going to be the people who do gross stuff in a community. Doesn't mean everybody in the community is like that. And here is my point. You don't have to like gacha, but you shouldn't just target every single gacha kid who does one bad thing. Because let's face it, it's not going to make you any better as them. And of course, you don't have to force other people to like gacha. If you don't like gacha or you like gacha and you're watching my videos, then I'm just glad that you enjoy my videos than liking that I do gacha or sometimes I don't do gacha. On to the next one. Yes, we all know it, and sadly, we can never get rid of it. Now, I know there's a thing called Save the Gacha Community and Save Looney, sorry. But basically, I would like to say something about this. I would like to tell everybody something that they never realized. You can't stop sexual stuff. Now, before you come in the comments yelling at me saying I support this, just listen. There's always a community that is filled with porn. For example, look at Undertale. Undertale's filled with disgusting stuff. However, you can't really stop that. Of course, I don't support the whole gacha heat thing, but you can't really just put a hashtag saying stop sexual heat or sexual gacha just for it to automatically go away. It will never go away, but we have to learn that. We have to accept that. We can be better than that. We don't just have to give up because our community has some sexual parts in it. We can just move forward and realize that we can't get rid of it, but that doesn't slow us down for what we like to do. And of course, you have to realize that, yeah, people will shit on it, but don't you ever think that that's not in our control? I do know that gacha heat is a very big problem and does really bad damage to our reputation, but you can't just let gacha heat push you down because it happens. It just happens. That doesn't mean it's your fault or it's anybody's fault. It's the person who's making it. It's their fault. That's all I have to say for this one. On to the next one. This issue in particular is another problem in the community. Now, this is not meaning that fans and stans are always bad. They help us with our channel and they help us become a better person. But there's always the fans who are toxic. Let's look at Aizen's fans, for example. Now, this is not me blaming Aizen for her fans and what they do. In fact, people have to know that sometimes YouTubers can't control their fans or stans. Unless they specifically attack a person, that's out of their control. Now, I just want to say that fans and stans can be toxic. And I honestly don't like that. I know I always bring up my haters who just comment on my videos, but I don't always like to call them my haters. I would like to call them people who don't like my channel. And do I have a problem with that? Not really. I can see why they don't like my content. Of course, I know my content's not going to be for everybody. Not everyone's going to like what I do, but do I really have to be upset? I get that you don't like my channel, but you can't just call somebody a hater because they don't like the same thing as you. Same thing as earlier, people will not like something, and you just got to accept that. And I would like to say something for the fans and stans who always say, you copied this person. Listen, it's gacha. It's a dress-up game that anybody can use. Just because somebody has a bunny ears or have something similar to another YouTuber doesn't automatically mean they're copying somebody. Like, everybody uses the hat I'm wearing. Does that mean if somebody else uses this hat, does that mean they're copying me? I don't own the hat. I don't own the dress-up items in this game. Nobody does. And you just have to realize that sometimes people are going to use it and they're not meaning to copy anybody. And this is just something that I get upset about. And it honestly hurts that so many creators who want to get big and want to just be admired always gets pushed down by these people saying they're copying another famous person. And it honestly gives both the unpopular person and the popular person a bad reputation. The unpopular person just gets accused of copying and being a thief, while the popular person gets accused of just being the reason why they get so much hate. And why all their fans and stans are just hating on other people who have similar outfits ideas as them. And if you're one of those people, I am truly sorry about what is going on. And I hope that someday people will open their eyes and will stop saying that to you. On to the next point.
No! It can't be! No!
This is something that angers me. And if you do this, shame on you. Shame. Now, I'm going to be talking about why this is wrong. For example, a person named Neon X, I can't really say their name, was being shipped with another person named Zach, and they were both friends. And Neon goes on saying that she was already taken and is already in a relationship. And this is an example of why it's wrong. Shipping fictional characters in a game or movie or anything, that's perfectly fine. But when you go out of your way of shipping real life people who are already taken or not into it or not wanting a relationship or anything like that, that's just being creepy. For example, if I just go up to a random person saying, hey, I ship you with that person over there, do you think that would be normal? Of course not. They're going to be extremely uncomfortable and probably call the cops on me. And honestly, it's just disgusting. If somebody is friends with another person and you're just trying to say, oh my god, they're the best ship, you have to realize that they're probably uncomfortable with it. Would you like it if someone were to ship you with your friend or anybody? Would you feel comfortable if someone just walks up to you and say that they ship you with a random person? Of course not. How about you put yourself in their shoes and see how they feel instead of just doing dumb crap like this? On to the next one.
What do you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much...
Now, before anybody starts to come at me, this is just something that I believe. I've been looking at a lot of gacha videos and I realized none of them have any creativity as they once did. Back in the old gacha days, people had a lot of creative ideas. Nowadays, we only make trends that aren't even good, and then we make trends that get us even more hate. Of course, if you want to make a simple edit, that's fine. But if you keep doing it over and over and over again, it's just becoming boring. And I know there's YouTubers like Rosie Closey, I forgot all the names. But I know there's people similar to Rosie Closey who make actually good series that can be enjoyable to watch and have really good quality. I suggest watching the Music Freaks. And I just want to say that can't we just be a little creative? You don't have to make mini movies to be creative. You can make simple little stories or simple little mini movies or anything like that. And I would also like to say, I think people should be a little like X-Mocha-X. X-Mocha-X has really creative OCs that I have never seen before. And I would just like it if some people would just try to use their creativity and try to use imagination, because videos like these aren't enjoyable to watch. If I wanted to watch a video about a high schooler getting bullied, I would just go to middle school. I don't want to come home and watch some high schooler have problems and then blow up a house. I want to watch something fun, something that's out of this world. Now, next point.
Since you want to go around acting goofy, I think you deserve a certified clown license.
Now, I've seen a lot of trends with depression, suicide, and all that. And I'm just wanting to say that it's hurting. It really hurts. As somebody with ADHD and tends to suffer from a little bit of depression or something like that, I'm just saying that it honestly hurts seeing that trends like these are just being pushed aside as quirky. Because guess what? Having ADHD isn't something that is quirky. It honestly hurts a lot, and it's hard to deal with it every single day. Because guess what? A little something you didn't know? PTSD, ADHD, and all the mental sicknesses and disorders and illnesses aren't something cool or awesome to have. They honestly hurt a person. And please consider people go through these things. They're not meant to make you look cool or awesome. There's something that people have to deal with. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching.